Good morning. This is Jill, and I want to talk to you today about something that is incredibly abundant and can hack your health amazingly. Breathing. I was listening to a lecture by Dr. John Douillard this weekend, and he was talking about the Ayurvedic practice of pranayama and how important breathing practices are for life. So often as we are going through our modern lifestyles, we're sitting, we're slouching, we're doing things that don't promote good posture. I don't know if your grandma ever lectured you on good posture, but I know I was encouraged that way a few times. And it's really important for your diaphragmatic health, the health of your breathing. And when you breathe well and get a good oxygen exchange, it's the health of your whole body. Your diaphragm, as it's pulling down and causing your chest to expand, is balancing the natural reactive tendency of your ribs to want to pull in. So they're balancing each other as they go. When we're sitting a lot and we're slouching a lot, your diaphragm can't operate properly. The majority of the blood vessels in your lung system are in the lower lobes of your lungs. When you're sitting slouched, your diaphragm isn't working properly, you're breathing in the top part of your lungs, not down into the bottom part of your lungs where most of the exchange is happening. The net result is that we tend to be somewhat hypoxic in our tissues simply because we're not breathing deeply. We're not getting enough oxygen into our bodies. They're discovering all of this in science now, but Ayurveda has been speaking to it for a long time and encouraging practices that bring deep breath into your body. He shared a few simple ways that you can do this. And I've taught many of these, and I've been experimenting with some great ones. If you look up Wim Hof, he has a breathing technique, and he's got a little bubble. It says breathe with the bubble on his website. If you're interested in that, message me, make a comment below, and I will send you the link to that because it's really cool and fun. And what it does is encourage breath holding. When you start to hold your breath, you start to train your body on using oxygen well and getting a good exchange. Your body is triggered to breathe in when your CO2 levels rise. If your CO2 levels don't rise, your body doesn't get trained to tolerate a higher level of CO2. You don't draw as deep a breath. When you don't draw a deep breath, you don't get it down into those lower lobes, you don't get a good exchange of oxygen, and so on. So when you practice holding your breath, you are training your body to utilize oxygen. This was a cool thing that he talked about. When you breathe, when you hold your breath on the in-breath, that's excitatory to your body. So when you are dealing with sluggishness, with needing to deal with depression, those kind of things, practicing breath holds on the in-breath is helpful. When you are dealing with anxiety, with overexcitement, overstimulation of your system, which can sometimes feel like sluggishness, where you've just been overstimulated to the point where your system is withdrawing. That happens a lot. We have an extremely stimulating lifestyle these days. Holding on the exhale is the answer. You know how when you're hyperventilating, you breathe, they have you breathe in a bag, and because CO2 is actually calming to your system. It's really cool. So you can practice this. The Wim Hof thing is really cool, but you can do this really easy just with doing a walking meditation. Just walking. So as you're walking, breathe in start with 5 steps, breathe out with the next 5. In with 5, out with 5. and gradually lengthen it. In with 6, out with 6, up to 10. So you're breathing in for 10 steps, breathing out for 10 steps. Now start holding. Breathe in, hold for a few steps, breathe out, hold for a few steps, and just increase your lengthening of the hold. You can also start to lengthen your exhale. These help train your body to tolerate higher CO2 levels, which stimulates your body to breathe into the lower lobes of your body so that, again, you're getting good exchange of air. The higher CO2 levels trigger your hemoglobin to release the oxygen into your tissues. So this isn't just the blood oxygen levels that they measure when they put the little thing on your finger. And they talk about that a lot. We've heard a lot about that with this illness that's going around, and they measure blood CO2 levels and they're down and yada yada. That doesn't measure the oxygen in your tissues. So the oxygen can be floating around in your blood, but if you're not getting into those higher CO2 levels, it's not triggering the hemoglobin in your blood to release it into your tissues. So you're hypoxic in your tissues. It's a pretty cool thing. Your body is truly amazing and wonderful. So there's your tip for this week. For abundance, just breathe. Practice holding your breath. Getting into intermittent hypoxia, it's called. It's pretty cool stuff. And make a comment, message me if you're interested in more pranayama breath practices. I can send you information on that. Or if you're interested in that Wim Hof breathing, which is really cool stuff, and it's really easy to do. 10 minutes of breathing practice a day, and you'll be amazed at how your mood changes, how your body feels more energized, all sorts of things. And I'll send you that link as well. So, breathe, enjoy abundance, because you're fearfully and wonderfully made. Have a great week.